going on, guys? Welcome back to another gameplay from Wild Rift. Today it's Kayle top lane, and you guys told me this. You want to see how I play Kayle, so here I am playing Kayle, showing you how you can carry from the top lane. And the nerfs Kayle recently got, she doesn't care, honestly. Like, I haven't played her in a while and I have not noticed anything. On the screen you should have seen my whole build, the runes and everything you need to know, and what I'm doing is I'm focusing more on playing like AP. In the past, I was a big fan of playing her like more attack speed, in an attack speed way. But for now, I'm a bigger fan of playing her full AP. Okay, I've tested both, and full AP just made more damage at the end, and I had a better survivability because my W was healing more. I'm playing against an Kayle, and as a rune I have Fleet Footwork, especially on those scaling champions like Kayle or on Kassadin or on a lot of ADCs. I like to play with Fleet Footwork because it gives me more survivability in lane, especially against people like Kayle or other lane bullies. I wouldn't 100% consider Kayle as a lane bully, but you get what I mean, right? So I knew she was hiding in the barrage there. I'm doing a little trade. I'm obviously losing. I'm just trying to test what the early game Kayle can do. And I'm also trying to out-sustain her because she doesn't have any heals. And I do. I have two of them. My Fleet Footwork and the W. So this is one of the secret things I'm doing with, like, secret in, not really secrets, where I simply try to outlane and out-sustain the enemies. Like, I think a lot of people do that, but I haven't seen too many people doing that. I walked against the wall because I think my phone, I lost it right there. And if you're asking yourself, like, hey, is this live or is this commentated afterwards? Like, it's commentated afterwards. Like, I'm a really good player. Like, if I haven't told you yet and you're the first time on this channel, I'm a top 200 legendary Q player, and I'm a top, like, I'm a high tier Grandmaster player. So I'm a very good player. I would consider myself as a very good player, and I'm also, I'm at least trying to be a very entertaining commentator, but I can't do both at the same time. So, I'm going the extra mile to make sure you're getting entertained, you're getting educated, but you're also seeing a good gameplay. I'm not trying to half-ass both things. So, while I was holding my monologue, if you haven't seen it, like, Riven has ganked me and I was completely brain after. I haven't seen it that she was ganking me, so maybe you could have done more damage to her. But you can see I'm completely out. I'm out-sustaining her. Now I have my level 5, and this is where the fun with Kayle begins, because now I can safely farm. It's not like she has bullied me away from farming, which she should have, okay? When you're playing against a Kayle, you should always bully your enemy as hard as you can, ideally kill her 1 or 2 times with your jungler together before she is getting that massive level 5 power spike with her range attacks. So my team is also doing a good job at killing the enemy jungler. Like, Twisted Fate had a great map vision, which you need as a Twisted Fate. If you haven't watched my Twisted Fate video, I will link it to you at the end of this one right here, so make sure to watch this one and watch the Twisted Fate video, because I'm going to show you exactly how you can carry with Twisted Fate out of the mid lane. And a lot of people consider Twisted Fate as a very, very easy champion. I wouldn't. Okay, like, the kit itself is easy, but you need like a very, very good map awareness to play him at a high level. Like, he's easy to pick up, but very hard to master. Now, we're 3.5 minutes in the game, and there are only 2 kills. Maybe the third is happening right now. Yes, the third just happened. We have like 4 minutes now in the game, only 3 kills happened. That's good for a Kayle, because I can scale pretty easily. I don't care if I'm a little bit gold behind against a Kayle, which I shouldn't be. Like, I'm not opening the scoreboard too often, unfortunately. It would be very interesting afterwards, but during the game it's not that interesting most of the times. I'm pinging that my enemy laner is missing, and I keep on farming. I'm unfortunately, like, usually what I should have done, this is like to tell you what you should be doing. What I should have done at this particular situation is I should have not pushed the wave that hard. Wow, wow. Luckily that I dodged it. I shouldn't be pushing the wave that hard because they can easily kill me. Like, look at the damage she's doing to me, and the only way I can win this is with my fleet footwork and my heals. Because she can burst me, I can only give her a little bit of poke damage, but if we go on a direct 1v1, like fighting till the death, in a very short time frame, I would definitely lose this. Even with my ultimate, even if I timed it perfectly. Like, if I dodged everything from her, yes, I would kill her, but is it realistic? No. So I'm only trying to farm and poke her a little bit and not trying to get into any big fights until I have like 2 or 3 items and at my level 9. So Kayle's at the dragon. I decided to not go because I wouldn't be that big of a help. Tristana isn't helping as well. So I decided to go for the gold. Like, this is like not necessarily the best decision. This is something like you have to decide for yourself. If I would be something like a Darius or something else, it could easily do something against those enemies. Sure, I should have gone there, but with Kayle, level 8, and not even 1 item finished, it wouldn't have been the best decision. And Tristana also, she didn't care. She didn't care at all, so we gave up that dragon because hopefully, like, that's at least how I'm pacifying myself, basically. Well, I almost died here. I was ready to flash. I should still be ready to flash. That's why I was ready to flash. At least I'm trying to tell this myself that... I forgot what I want to say. I'm really sorry. Yes, I remember now. So, sorry for the short brain lag, guys. That's why I'm not playing and commentating at the same time, because you see my brain lag right now. And this would happen constantly during while I play, because there would be something that's distracting me in the game and I would stop commentating. So, therefore, it's good that I do both, not doing both at the same time. So what I'm doing, what I want to tell is, at least I'm telling myself that we didn't go to that dragon, so we can keep scaling. This is the first gank Gragas is doing, and I'm probably dead right here. Yes, unfortunately. This is one of the few deaths I'm getting this game, and if you want to know exactly what's happening in this game, you should definitely stick around till the end. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, even though I had a very hard brain lag a few seconds ago. I hope you find it more funny than me, because, wow, Riven died as well. At least we got the kill on her. I hope you find funnier than me, with my short brain lag right there. So I'm preventing the Rift Herald, and I'm not... Oh, and I got that mistake. Like, the power spike happens at level 10 with Kayle. I thought, like, this second time I get my ult. There were passive upgrades, but it's happening at level 10. That was my bad. So I don't think I've done way more than playing the farming simulator up until this point. Akali's doing some very good moves, like she's 100% playing better than me right now, but she has also like the stronger champ for the situation, and I thought it was worth way more if I was going for the turret right here than helping my team out. They're doing a great job, like, actually. Maybe I'm even getting the second turret. I don't 100% remember with the amount of minions, the new minion wave that's coming, and the time the enemies are dead, I should easily get that turret. Yes, there it is. So I should be going back now because the enemies are reviving. I can buy my Rabadon staff cap. Looking not too bad for me, honestly. Even though I got dived pretty badly like a few seconds ago, it's looking not too bad. Now, one little thing that like came to my mind is when I saw the Ashe arrow. I didn't know a very, very long time that you can move Ashe's arrow while it's, like, the Ashe ultimate while it's flying. I didn't know that. Like one friend of mine told me, hey, look, the thing you can move it, and I didn't know that because in the PC version you weren't able to for a very long time, and I thought, okay, why should they change this? And one time he told me like, hey, you can move it, and I was like, no, you're tripping, and I was saying like, he was saying like, no, like 100% you can move it, and then I was seeing how an enemy was doing it. So this was very important, like if you haven't seen it, that I ulted that Riven, so she didn't get too many damage, like she died anyways, but they burned a lot of stuff on her. Look at the damage I'm doing with the Rabadons. Unfortunately, like, I can't follow because I've seen the Kayle still in the brush right there. There she was waiting, she's going for me. And under very good damage. If she's showing us, she's dead as well. And this is now when Kayle comes online. I have 2 items finished. We got in a very good fight where I was just standing back. The only one that's sorry, the only one that was focusing me was the Gragas. And besides that, that was it. Like nobody was trying to kill me anyway. So I was able to deal a lot of damage, and I felt so safe right there. And the immediate purchase I needed to make was the Zonias. I don't even know if he was flashing. Maybe I was just so mad at this situation that I pinged randomly on the flash. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you can go 5 seconds back and tell me in the comments.
Attack the Rift Herald. Top turret is under attack. Turret lost.
So, game looking pretty even, but I would say, in general, our team is like better in the late game. Even though we don't have a tank like the Gragas. I don't know if he's playing full AP. It looks like he's playing full AP. So they have also no tank. Okay, I almost killed the Tristana right there because I was activating the jump trap. Don't know why I did this. But I gave her my ulti immediately because I was apologizing. This was my way to apologize to her. Now she's dead. Looks like Yumi's dead as well. Look at the damage I'm doing to Ezreal. That's why I'm playing AP Kayle now and not attack speed Kayle, because look at my E and Q damage. I just need a couple of auto attacks, 1 E and 1 Q, and the enemy should be dead. And if the fight is going longer, like my auto attacks also scale with AP. Wow, that was also some insane damage from Veigar. So I'm going back to farming, trying to finish my Lich Bane, which also empowers my auto attacks, at least the one I do after I casted one of my abilities. And one of the things that would interest me is, like, let me please know down in the comments, which elo are you guys? Like, what is your rank? I want to know the average viewer's rank, so maybe I can give you some tips on how to climb out of that particular elo. There are like some common things you see in every single rank, and usually I'm not the biggest fan of saying like, hey, do this and that and you will get out of your current situation, your current rank. But there are like some things I've seen players from certain ranks do that, and if you fix them, you should be able to climb. So let me know which rank you are, maybe I will do some extra tips on how to climb out of that particular rank. That Tristana died again. Like, looking back at it, even though she has a lot of kills, like, she died a lot. She was pretty aggressive with her W. Wow, those enemies, they're all so free. Can you not put up a fight without me? Like, from time to time I'm also chatting when I have like a bad game or I see someone having a bad game. But usually, wow, now this was the damage. Usually I'm not using the chat. This was the damage I was speaking about with Kayle. I don't know what burned me that hard afterwards. Like, Gragas is trying to get me. He won't. So I can easily kill the Veigar and most of the enemies in a 1v1 situation. that I can kill the Gragas if I'm able to dodge the E. And my team is fighting again. Riven is in and I have no reason why. Oh, it wasn't Riven, it was Tristana again. But I'm slowly fighting my way into the game. Like I'm 3-2 and 4. I'm now having at least some kill participations. And like not that many deaths, so it's going pretty well for me because Kayle honestly is one of the best late game champions, especially like with the new items. The nerfs didn't hit her too much. If you go full AP like I'm showing you in this video, like most of the time you should be able to win if your team doesn't end completely. This is one of the things I've observed inside of Wild Rift. Like all of those late game champions. I can't believe I got hit by this. I'm so dead. I'm not dead. I'm alive. That Twisted Fate just saved my ass. But what I wanted to say with those late game champions, I noticed a lot of late game champions, they are very strong because those games, you get your late game pretty quickly compared to PC. Like you get those free items you need for most of the champions, for example Wayne, like after you get free items with her, or free items with, I don't know, a Tristana, a Kayle, a Cassadin. You get those things pretty quick, like we're 60 minutes in and I have 4 items finished. Okay, I'm farming very well, but those late game champions are pretty worth it, and I'm playing mostly late game champions, so maybe that's also a thing. I should be flashing on him. He flashes away, tries to get me. I ult myself. Maybe the Zonias would have been better, but I would have been stunned longer, right? So I don't have ult, but wow, this was a pretty aggressive. So I'm trying to protect the Tristana because I know she's doing tons of damage. I can't protect her because she's doing a lot of dumb stuff. But all I'm doing right here with the Yumi on me, it's tons of damage. I'm kiting the enemies, and I shouldn't be following there. Okay. Let me tell you why I did this, and I'm not 100% sure what I've bought during this game while I did this, but I was trying to bait for the Twisted Fate so he can kill the enemy. Wow, another awesome dodge. I don't, like, please give me a counter down in the chat how often I've dodged the Ash ult. At least 3 or 4 times, right? Like, where it was pretty close. And my exact thought was, during that game, I'm going to bait for the Twisted Fate, but I didn't know that there were so many enemies still around. So the new items, let me talk about them really quickly. The Infinity Orb, which was basically reworked. The old Infinity Orb was more or less useless for most champions, but now, where it's cheaper, gives more AP and no health anymore, it's actually a pretty viable choice, even on Kayle. And the Rift Maker, both of them make her pretty strong in combination. So you should be definitely trying it out. This combination in general is pretty solid on a lot of champions. A lot of AP champions. Twisted Fate did a pretty good job. I need to ult her, or the Tristana, so she doesn't die. I also protected most damage from her. Keeping the Gragas back up. I thought about flashing there 100%, like I know my playstyle, even when commentating, and this turret is pretty much free. Because I've seen them walking into the jungle. Look at this, we half-lifed her with a couple of hits, like the stun from Twisted Fate and 2 auto attacks from me were half-life, and he's dead. Like 2 hits again, as I told you, 2 hits again. She took 3 hits. And this is the power of Kayle. Like, this was what I was talking about. And this is exactly why you should be playing her full AP. And I think this fight right here, it won us the game. 100%. if you get a fight like this with your Kayle, in the late game, games can be over after one team fight. Because you can not only dominate enemies in the team fight, you can also push so quickly because you're that strong. So just wait for the other wave. I really want to finish right there because we still have 15
If you enjoyed
seconds.
this gameplay right here,
And this game, make
over.
sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to leave you with a bunch of
Maybe
videos
I can
I
even
think
go and
you'll
kill
find
her.
pretty valuable. And this is exactly how you play Kayle.